Let's continue our tour of Algebra 2 by looking at Lesson 3A, Evaluation of Expressions. Very easy lesson overall. Uh, we'll just skip to the example because it's pretty self-explanatory. You just got to make sure you do the math properly. Example 3.1 says evaluate x squared times y minus y if x equals -2 and y equals -4. Well, you do exactly what you think you would do. If x is -2, we're going to plug that into x. Now, when you plug everything in, I would highly recommend to use parentheses because if you remember, -2 squared and -2 squared, these would end up being different answers because this one, your -2 is isolated. So that would actually be -2 times -2 times -2 equaling +4. This one would actually be 2 times 2 because the negative is not isolated to the 2, but the negative encompasses the whole variable there. So it'd actually be, cover up the negative sign, 2 squared is 4. Then you have the negative, so that would actually be -4. So I would recommend putting everything in with parentheses when you plug it in. So x is -2 squared, y is -4. Put in my parentheses, notice nothing in between, so that means they will be multiplied, minus, whoa, there's a big minus in, minus, what is this, a y, put in parentheses, -4. See the difference? If I just put it in like this, I would have forgotten about that negative sign. So you got to make sure you add the parentheses. Now remember your order of operations when you saw from here. Here you just saw order of operations, parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, add, subtract. All right, there's your order of operations. So now we solve. What's first? Well, they're on parentheses. We're going to do exponents. -2 squared. Well, if it's in parentheses, that means you isolate the -2. So -2 times -2 is +4. All right, so we did that. Keep these parentheses, minus a -4. All right, so from here, I'm going to run out of room, but 4 times -4 minus -4. What does order of operations say to do next? It says to do multiply before we do subtraction or addition. So we're going to multiply 4 times -4. We're going to move it over here. 4 times -4 is -16 minus -4. So that's where we're at. From here, when you subtract, when you have two negatives that make being multiplied together, that makes it a positive. So you're actually saying -16 plus 4, and that equals -12. -12 is your answer. So that's that expression evaluated. Let's do one more example. A is -2, parentheses. Now, since you're going to have parentheses within the parentheses, I'm going to go ahead and do a bracket. Then a negative sign there. So I just did the parentheses as a bracket, brought the negative sign down. Now I'm going to plug in B. I'm going to still put the 4 in parentheses, minus -2 in parentheses, close the bracket. So we just did all of this, the parentheses is within the brackets. Minus A, -2, and B is 4. in parentheses. Then you solve. Solve inside parentheses first, or the brackets first. -4 minus -2. So I'm going to go ahead and make this look a little less claustrophobic here. -4 plus 2. Negative times negative is positive. In the brackets, -4 plus 2 is -2. I'm going to switch that. Minus -2 times 4. Most of y'all probably got it from here, but keep going. -2 times -2. Order of operations, you got to go left to right. -2 times -2 is +4. And minus -2 times 4. -2 times 4 is -8. So that is still in parentheses, and you still have this negative sign. So it would look like this. Okay? I'll call this step A, B, and we're at C. Remove that. So 4 minus -8, those turn positive, and that equals 12 as well. So you got -12 for example 3.1 and +12 for example 3.2. So that's evaluating expressions. Let's move to this side of the board and look at adding like terms. Let me center it up. Adding like terms. Okay, so we know that if you have x plus x, well, what do you have there? X plus x? Well, what you got there is a sticky situation because you got two x's right there. No good. But x plus x equals 2x. They are like terms, so therefore you can add them. If you had x plus y, no bueno. Can't do that. Cannot add that together. That would actually stay as x plus y. That'd be simplified. If you had 2x plus, I don't know, 5x. Well, since they have the same variable, you would be able to add those to get 2 plus 5, 7, and then your variable of x. So that would be 7x. Now let's look at something a little more detailed. Say we have 3xyz and 2zyx. Say these are being added. Now the question is, are these like terms? The answer is yes, and you're going to find out why. If I was to give a value to x, a value to y, and a value to z. If I was to give a value of 2 to x, 3 to y, and z to 4, and plug those in. Ignore the 3 and the 2 right now. X, y, z, that would be 2 times 3 times 4. 2 times 3, 6, times 4, 24. So xyz, the product xyz or the term xyz would equal 24. What if it's in this order? What if it's backwards? zyx. Well, z is 4, y is 3, x is 2. Does it equal the same thing? 4 times 3, 12 times 2, 24. So xyz and zyx, they will always be the same. The letters are just rearranged. Even if the letters are rearranged, they are still like terms, and you can add them together. So we could, if you wanted to make it easier on yourself to see it, you could say 3xyz plus 2, rearrange the x, rearrange y and z, or just flip the x and z. And now you can see that they are like terms. They both have value of x, y, z as their variable. So you can add the 3 and the 2 and get 5x, y, z. So they are like terms, even if they are rearranged. So let's look at a couple of examples. Example 3.3, very easy one, 3xy minus 2x plus 4, so on. I like to go left to right and see if I have any like terms. 3xy. Is there anything else that has xy? Negative 2x, nope, that doesn't work. 4, nope, doesn't work. Negative 6yx. Uh, is it the same even though the y and the x are switched? Well, yes, they are. Remember, if they had values for x and y, they would be the same number. Answer. So, what I could do is rearrange this and say 6xy. If that helps you out, go for it. Some people don't need it. Some people need to see it. I'm visual, so I like to see it. So 3xy minus 6xy, we can now add those since they are like terms. 3 minus 6 is negative 3. Then you bring down the x and y. So I can cross those out. Negative 2x. Does it have any like terms? Nope. Yes, right here, negative 2x and 3x. Negative 2 plus 3 adds up to be 1, so plus x. And then just plus 4. So that would be the simplified expression for 3.3. Now we have one more. Looks a little more difficult. It's really the same thing. If you have a lot of extra junk here, if negative exponents, things like that, things in numerator and denominator, what I would do in these scenarios is I would always make the exponents positive, because then you're going to be able to see if they are like terms or not. So let's look at 3a negative squared b over c first. Well, to make it easier on us, I'm going to move the negative squared to the bottom to make it a positive squared. So I switch it. So what that would look like is 3b over a squared c. This one over here, all of the exponents are positive. I'm going to do this for all of the little expressions here before, or the variables before I simplify. I wrote this wrong. Okay, look at this one. So I got there. We got a negative exponent here. So plus 7. I moved the a squared to the bottom to make it positive. I moved the c to the bottom to make it positive, and b on top. Got that one. Everything is a positive exponent. And then right here, everything here is already a positive exponent. Or, I'm going to make it alphabetical though, order though. So now these are our terms. Now we can see more easily if we can solve for any like terms. So we look at 3b over a squared c. Are there any other, ignore the number, b over a squared c? Well, yes, there is here and here. These are all three the same term. So therefore, we can add or subtract the numbers, since all three of these are the same term. 3 minus 4 is negative 1, plus 7 is 6, so that comes out to be 6b over a squared c. This one doesn't have any friends. Sorry to loader. 4a squared b over c. And that would be your simplified answer right there. 6b over a squared c minus 4a squared b over c. It's funky, but that is it simplified. And that is all that lesson 3 is. Very easy.